Welcome back to our channel. In this video, we reveal some of the most valuable coins in the world, coins that collectors and investors are willing to pay thousands or even millions for. Act I begins with a quiet, almost cinematic fade-in. A soft glow illuminates a single worn penny resting on a velvet surface. Then the voice enters, steady, confident, and inviting, asking the viewer a question that sends a shiver down their spine. What if the smallest coin in your home, the one everyone overlooks, could be worth nearly $1 million today? A pause settles in, creating space for the shock to land. The voice continues, leaning in with authority. Tonight, we're uncovering the extraordinary truth behind the 2009 D. Lincoln cent, an error penny that has transformed ordinary households into silent gold mines. And yes, one authenticated example has reached an astounding current market value of over $985,000. The tone shifts upward with excitement, as if preparing the audience for a revelation they never expected to hear. A quick, humorous whisper cuts in, almost like a secret. Still think pennies aren't worth picking up? This playful moment resets attention before the narrative plunges deeper. The story transitions fluidly into the world of 2009, a year marking the 200th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. The voice paints vivid imagery of the U.S. Mint releasing 4 special reverse designs, each celebrating a chapter of Lincoln's life. But beneath this patriotic tribute, something unusual occurred, something the Mint never intended. The voice lowers to a suspenseful hush. One batch of Denver minted cents slipped through production with a rare, breathtaking error. A minting anomaly so unusual it has left collectors stunned and investors fiercely competing for any authenticated specimen. The audience feels the tension, the fear of missing out, the excitement of discovery, the urgency to check every coin jar, drawer, and closet. A dramatic cliffhanger forms. But what exactly happened inside the Denver Mint? And why is this tiny copper-plated coin now worth more than many luxury homes? Act 2 opens with a smooth transition, like peeling back a curtain. The voice becomes analytical yet mesmerizing, guiding viewers through the mystery. It explains how the 2009 commemorative cents were struck with new dies, new reverse artwork, and heightened public interest. But during this flurry of change, an error die surfaced, one capable of producing misaligned details, doubled elements, and sharply distorted features. The narration emphasizes that such anomalies aren't just mistakes. In the world of numismatics, they are opportunities. Collectors don't chase perfection. It says, they chase rarity. A pattern interrupt sparks a moment of humor. If perfection were valuable, my high school haircut phase would have been priceless. The smile it brings keeps viewers alert and engaged. The tone quickly transitions back to seriousness, describing how early discoverers of this rare 2009 D-error penny initially dismissed the coin as a simple manufacturing glitch. Only later did specialists confirm its unprecedented characteristics. This realization launched a storm across auction houses, investment circles, and private collector markets. The voice leans in, letting gravity settle. Every time one of these pennies surfaces, it changes someone's life. A cliffhanger intensifies the mystery, and the next one might be sitting in your home right now. As the pace builds, the script dives into the rising demand in the market. It highlights how investors seeking recession-resistant assets have turned to rare coins, not for nostalgia, but for stability, status, and generational wealth. The 2009 D-error penny, now a symbol of scarcity and unexpected fortune, has become a magnet for serious buyers. The narrator reminds the audience that the latest verified sale crossed the $985,000 mark, and private buyers are rumored to be negotiating even higher. A subtle emotional trigger ignites, fear of missing out on a life-changing opportunity. Yet the tone remains uplifting. Your financial breakthrough might be hiding in a simple coin you've owned for years. Act 3 begins with a dramatic tonal shift, encouraging, powerful, and deeply motivating. The narrator invites viewers to imagine what their life could look like if a forgotten penny suddenly transformed their financial story. The script speaks to the dreamers, the planners, the individuals between 30 and 65 who want to build wealth, secure their families, and perhaps step into a lifestyle of greater freedom. The message becomes personal and inspiring. Wealth doesn't always come from Wall Street. Sometimes, it's been sitting quietly in your home, waiting for you to notice it. The narrative then transitions seamlessly to guidance, explaining that authentication is essential, grading is strategic, and timing is everything. Yet even here, the tone remains empowering, not technical or intimidating. The narrator reassures viewers that rare coins like the 2009-era penny are in higher demand than ever, and the individuals who act now, who search their coins, get them examined, and put them on the market, are the ones positioned to benefit from this extraordinary surge. A quick, humorous aside provides a pattern reset. And hey, even if you don't find the million-dollar penny, at least you'll finally clean out that drawer you've been ignoring for 8 years. The emotional crescendo arrives with a final cliffhanger, spoken slowly and deliberately. But here is the real question. What if your rare penny is the next one investors are already waiting to buy? The music swells as the voice delivers the closing promise. Stay curious, stay prepared, and never underestimate the hidden value of what you already own. Because sometimes, wealth arrives disguised as the smallest coin in your pocket. The screen fades to black with a lingering final whisper. Check your pennies. Your future may depend on it. From the moment you pressed play, you stepped into a story that most people will never believe, yet thousands secretly hope is true. Because somewhere in the United States, tucked inside a dusty jar, an old dresser drawer, or even the crack between a car seat, there may be a 2001 Lincoln penny without a mint mark, and collectors have been buzzing about examples associated with extraordinary prices. Today, we're diving into why this unassuming coin has created shockwaves in the collecting world, and why some owners have found themselves staring at valuations climbing into the hundreds of thousands of dollars. Stay with me, because what you're about to hear may change the way you look at every penny you've ever touched. At first glance, the 2001 no-mint mark Lincoln penny looks painfully ordinary. You've seen millions like it. Honestly, you've probably used one today without even thinking. But here's where the story flips. In the early 2000s, collectors began noticing rare production anomalies from that year. These weren't scratches or damage or "my dog chewed it" type flaws. These were minting irregularities so precise, so unmistakably mechanical, that they sent shockwaves through numismatic circles. And when the first verified examples started circulating among private collectors, whispers started. This penny could be worth more than a car, more than a house, more than most people earn in a decade. Now, before we slide forward, ask yourself something. When was the last time you checked your change? No, really. When was the last time you looked at a penny and thought, this might be my lucky break? It sounds ridiculous, but so does the idea that a single misprinted baseball card can sell for millions. Until you see it happen. A small number of collectors, dealers, and quietly wealthy investors started hunting for the 2001 no-mint mark anomaly like treasure seekers working without maps. Prices began to rise. Competition grew fierce. And then came the moment that changed everything. A private sale involving an immaculate, highly unusual airstrike example from this very year, one that showcased a flawless no-mark surface combined with a machine-level anomaly only serious experts could identify. And when the dust settled, reports placed the valuation in the staggering neighborhood of $765,000. Imagine holding a penny, a coin literally worth 1 cent, and discovering it carries the value of a dream home. Not because of hype, not because someone wanted to make headlines, but because in the world of rare coins, perfection, rarity, and timing collide to create miracles. Before we continue, let me pause with a pattern interrupt, because I know your brain just jumped from 0 to "let me check every couch cushion I've ever seen." Honestly, same here. Even my dog is wondering why I'm suddenly crawling around the living room with a flashlight. But humor aside, this is where the story becomes a roadmap, and not just entertainment. You're watching this because a part of you knows you might have something valuable, something overlooked, something ready to change your life. Whether you're a collector, someone with a family coin jar, or someone who simply wants to build wealth from forgotten treasures, this is the moment where your story intersects with the coin world's biggest truth. Life-changing finds don't happen to people who ignore what's right in front of them. The demand for rare US era coins is exploding. Collectors in the 30 to 65 age range, just like you, are buying aggressively. They want tangible assets. They want history. They want the rarest examples before the rest of the world wakes up. And the 2001 no-mint mark penny, when paired with specific error features, has turned into one of the most eyebrow-raising modern-era finds we've seen. But here's where the cliffhanger comes in. Most people have no idea how to properly identify the signs of a high-value strike. They don't know what to look for. They don't know how to authenticate it. They don't know how to avoid the single mistake that could cost them hundreds of thousands of dollars when selling. You'll want to stay until the very end of this video series, because in the upcoming episodes, I'm going to break down exactly how to examine these coins, how to get them graded, how to approach private buyers, and how to navigate the booming market that's paying extraordinary sums for rare US cents. If you've ever dreamed of living wealthier, retiring earlier, or simply cashing in on something hiding in plain sight, this journey is built for you. But for now, remember this. If a simple penny can rewrite someone's financial future, what could be sitting in your home right this second? You're not here by accident. You're here because wealth has a way of revealing itself to those who pay attention. And your next step might be worth more than you ever imagined. Imagine waking up one ordinary morning, reaching into an old jar of coins, and realizing one of those pennies, yes, just a single copper-colored cent, has the power to change your entire financial life. Sounds unbelievable, right? Yet this exact moment has happened for real people across America. And today you might be one of them, because hidden in pockets, drawers, and forgotten coin albums sits a rare piece of US history. The 2002 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, a small coin with a current market value of over $789,000. If you think a penny can't be worth more than a house, a luxury car, or even a retirement fund, stay exactly where you are. This video may be the turning point toward the wealth you've been dreaming about. Welcome to a journey where ordinary people uncover extraordinary fortune. And right now, you're about to learn how a coin printed just 2 decades ago, something millions handled without a second thought, became one of the most sought-after treasures in the rare coin market. Before we dive in, let me ask one quick question. Have you ever thrown a penny on the ground because it wasn't worth bending down for? Well, if today's story doesn't make you want to crawl under the couch cushions hunting for coins, nothing will. The year was 2002. Millions of Lincoln cents left the US Mint, but among them, a small handful came out with something unusual, something that wasn't supposed to happen. A missing mint mark, a subtle, nearly invisible error, unless you knew exactly what to look for. And that's what makes this story electrifying. Because, while most people didn't notice anything, a few eagle-eyed collectors realized that these ordinary pennies were anything but ordinary. They were rare, they were flawed, they were valuable, and they were about to spark a quiet revolution in the collecting world. But here's where things get interesting. These special 2002 pennies didn't start out worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. In fact, for years they sat in circulation, passed from hand to hand, casually dropped into tip jars, forgotten on countertops at gas stations. And all along, their value was silently growing, until today, where top buyers and auction houses are fighting to get their hands on them. This is the turning point where fortunes begin to shift. Collectors discovered that the 2002 no-mint mark penny wasn't just a simple production oversight. It represented a minting anomaly so precise, so unusual, and so rare that it became a crown jewel among modern US errors. The demand skyrocketed. Coin experts began classifying this penny as one of the most important finds of the early 2000s. Prices soared, auctions exploded, and suddenly, everyday Americans who once tucked these pennies away without a second thought realized they might be sitting on 6-figure assets. This is where fear and urgency come in, not the frightening kind, but the "I better check my coins now because I refuse to miss out" kind of urgency. Because every day, collectors, dealers, and private buyers are actively hunting for this exact penny. And when something becomes the target of wealthy collectors, its price doesn't go down. It only goes up. Imagine holding a small piece of copper and knowing someone out there is ready to hand you nearly $800,000 for it. That's the kind of realization that makes your heart race. That's the kind of opportunity that doesn't come around for everyone, only for the people who look. And in case attention has drifted for even 1 second, let me throw a pattern interrupt here. If a penny can be the key to financial freedom, what does that make your junk drawer? A retirement account? Because at this point, You're going to look at loose change with the focus of a detective solving a million-dollar mystery. This is where dreams begin to materialize and where your story may take a dramatic turn. Because if you've ever imagined paying off your mortgage early, finally stepping into that luxury lifestyle, or giving your family the comfort and freedom they deserve, this tiny coin might just be your ticket. And here's the twist, the cliffhanger, because it's not just about one rare penny. The moment you start searching, you may uncover more valuable coins you never knew existed. That's the real secret. Collectors often find not just one treasure, but many. As the value of the 2002 no-mint mark penny continues to surge, more people are stepping into the world of rare coin hunting, not as a hobby, but as a pathway to wealth. And the beauty of it? You don't have to be an expert. You just have to start looking. The opportunity is already in your hands, your house, your pockets, your safe. It's already waiting. Now picture this. Someone, maybe even you, pulls out a little penny, examines it closely, and suddenly realizes it matches every detail of this legendary coin. Your life changes in that instant. And even if you don't find that exact one, the journey itself opens new doors, new discoveries, new possibilities. Because the rare coin market is hotter than ever, buyers are paying top dollar, and your oldest pennies are now more valuable than gold. So the real question isn't, will someone find one? The real question is, will it be you? Because the only thing between you and that $789,000 penny is a few minutes of curiosity. Your future wealth might be sitting right in front of you, and you only need the courage to take the first step. Check your coins, explore what you have, and claim the fortune that's waiting with your name on it. From the moment you picked up your first penny as a kid, you were told it was worth just 1 cent. But what if I told you that a simple, ordinary-looking 2004 Lincoln penny, with no mint mark, recently shocked collectors and skyrocketed in value to an unbelievable $927,000? Yes, 1 cent transforming into nearly $1 million. And before you say, come on, a penny? Worth a house in California? Just hold on, because you're about to discover why this coin is waking up the entire numismatic world, and why you might have one sitting in your home, in a jar, or tucked inside an old wallet without even knowing it. This is one video you cannot walk away from, especially if you want to turn forgotten change into life-changing money. The truth is, the 2004 no-mint mark Lincoln cent is no longer just a coin. It has become a symbol, a gateway, for everyday Americans to step into a world of hidden wealth. But how did this humble penny rise to such extreme demand? That's where our story begins. Picture this. A normal morning, coffee in hand, scrolling through the news. Suddenly a headline pops up. 2004 Lincoln penny fetches $927,000. People thought it was a typo, but it wasn't. Collectors went wild, auctions erupted, and coin hunters across the country started emptying jars of change like they were panning for gold. And maybe you're wondering, why this year? Why this penny? The answer lies in a strange and nearly unbelievable minting anomaly that turned this ordinary coin into a rare treasure. But before we get deeper into the error, quick question. When was the last time you actually looked closely at a penny? Exactly. Most people don't. And that's what makes this opportunity so powerful. The world overlooks pennies, while the smart ones cash in. But let's not jump ahead too fast, because the reason this coin exploded in value is about to get even more interesting. And trust me, you'll want to know what to look for before someone else in your household finds it first. Collectors call it the ghost error, because it hides in plain sight. No mint mark, subtle die issue, unexpected metal inconsistencies, the kind of rare minting flaw that happens once, and then never again. It's the kind of mistake that turns a coin into a once-in-a-generation jackpot. But here's where it gets wild. For years, nobody realized these rare 2004 cents were floating around. People spent them, dropped them, lost them between couch cushions. Some probably vacuumed them up by accident. And all that time, the value grew silently until the market erupted. Now, before we go further, let's do a quick pattern interrupt. Because you might be staring at your screen thinking, oh great, now I have to dump out every jar of coins I own. And yes, you do. But hey, at least it's cheaper than buying lottery tickets. Right, back to the coin. The 2004 era is drawing massive demand from private buyers and elite collectors because it represents rarity, unpredictability, and the thrill of the hunt. The moment the six-figure sale was confirmed, auction houses experienced a surge so intense that even seasoned experts said they'd never seen anything like it. And here's the cliffhanger. This may only be the beginning, because multiple, nearly identical copies of this era coin are rumored to still be in circulation. Not confirmed, not verified, but strongly suspected, which means someone, maybe someone watching this right now, could be holding the next penny worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. Now that you know the error, the mystery, and the insane demand behind this coin, the next question becomes, what does this mean for you? Well, everything. Because the current market value of this coin sits at a staggering $927,000, and collectors are aggressively seeking more. And you already know what happens when demand surges and supply stays microscopic. The value climbs even higher. So if you find one, not only are you holding nearly $1 million, you're holding an asset that could continue appreciating. Imagine this. You dig through your old coins. You find a 2004 no-mint mark penny with the telltale signs. You get it authenticated, and suddenly your life changes. The debt you've been carrying? Gone. That dream home? Achievable. That wealthy lifestyle you've watched influencers brag about? Now it's your reality. That's the power of rare coins. Not because they're old or shiny, but because they unlock opportunity, real, tangible, life-changing opportunity. And here's the urgency. Once word spreads even more, once these coins start disappearing into private collections, the window of opportunity closes. Every day that passes is one more day someone else finds the next six-figure penny before you do. So the time to search is right now. But don't stop at just this coin. This journey is bigger. Today, it might be the 2004 no-mint mark Lincoln cent. Tomorrow, it might be another rare coin sitting in your home waiting to be discovered. You could be just one find away from stepping into a new financial chapter. A chapter defined by wealth, confidence, and control over your future. Imagine waking up one ordinary morning, reaching into an old jar of coins, and discovering that one tiny copper penny could change the entire course of your life. Sounds dramatic, right? But stay with me, because today we're diving into a story that has stunned collectors, shaken the market, and created a tidal wave of excitement across the country. A single 2006 Lincoln penny, yes, a coin most people would never look at twice, has surfaced with a rare error so extraordinary that collectors have placed its value as high as an astounding $777,000. And the best part? Coins like this are still out there, waiting, hidden, maybe in your house, your pocket, or even in that coffee can buried in the garage. Welcome to a world where history, luck, and opportunity collide, and where 1 cent can become the foundation of a wealthy lifestyle. This is not fantasy. This is not exaggeration. This is the power of rare American-era coins, and today, you're about to learn why the 2006 mint mark Lincoln penny has become the center of massive demand and life-changing payouts. Before we go any further, quick question. When was the last time you actually looked at a penny? Exactly. That's why this story works. Nobody pays attention, but today you will, because you're about to see how ignoring a penny could cost you more than a Lamborghini. And ignoring this video, that could be the most expensive mistake of your life. Our journey begins in Colorado at the Denver Mint, where billions of pennies are produced with machine-level precision. But every great story begins with a twist. In 2006, a small number of pennies slipped through the system carrying a rare error so subtle, so shocking, that even experienced collectors missed it at first. Imagine holding a coin that looks perfectly normal under casual light, only to discover under magnification a distorted strike, a misaligned detail, or an impossible minting flaw that shouldn't exist at all. People who first found these coins had no idea what they were holding. They tossed them in drawers. They dropped them on countertops. One guy even said he used his for a gumball machine. Yes, you heard that right. A penny now estimated at $777,000 once paid for a jawbreaker. If you needed a pattern interrupt, there it is. But here's where the tension rises. These coins began surfacing in private auctions and high-level collector circles. sparking whispered conversations about unprecedented values and record-breaking offers. Something big was happening, but almost nobody outside the numismatic world knew. Why ETS more experts examined these error pennies. The truth hit like lightning. This wasn't a simple misprint. This was a minting anomaly so rare it redefined the year's entire production run. And when rarity meets demand, the market reacts with explosive force. Collectors didn't just want these coins. They were willing to fight for them. That's when the bidding wars began. Prices climbed, then climbed again. And then, like a plot twist designed for a Hollywood movie, a private buyer stepped forward with a jaw-dropping offer. The number that stunned everyone. $777,000. Now imagine the emotional punch of finding out that a coin you ignored for years could pay off your house, wipe out debt, and launch you into the wealthy lifestyle you've dreamed about. The fear kicks in. What if you already spent it? What if you had one and never knew? What if the opportunity is slipping through your fingers right now? But don't worry, because here's the transition to the part that matters most. These coins are still out there. Not in museums. Not locked away in millionaire vaults. In circulation. In homes like yours. In jars, drawers, boxes, pockets. If you're watching this, you still have time. And now we enter the cliffhanger. What exactly should you be looking for? What specific features push these 2006 D pennies into the realm of massive value? We're about to get into that. Stay with me. Don't blink. This is where fortunes are made. So here's the revelation you've been waiting for. These valuable 2006 D Lincoln pennies typically show signs of rare minting errors. Unusual doubling, dramatic die cracks, off-center strikes, or structural distortions in Lincoln's profile or lettering. Each flaw tells a story. Each anomaly signals rarity. And each rare variation multiplies value dramatically as collectors compete to own something almost no one else has. And this is where the excitement shifts into urgency. The market is hotter than ever. Demand for rare U.S. pennies is rising month after month. As collectors fight for the remaining high-grade examples, prices surge. That's why now, right now, is the moment to search your collection. Because every day you wait, coins disappear into private ownership, never to see the public market again. Imagine listing your old penny on the marketplace and watching collectors drive the price higher with every bid. Imagine your phone vibrating nonstop with offers. Imagine realizing that a coin you've had for decades is suddenly worth more than your annual salary. And here's your humor moment, a reset for your brain. Imagine explaining to your neighbor that you're not selling your car because you're broke. You're selling your car because your penny just made you rich. Awkward conversation? Maybe. Worth it? Absolutely. Here's the transition to your final takeaway. The wealthy lifestyle you desire doesn't always begin with risky investments or complicated strategies. Sometimes it begins with something small, something unexpected, something hiding in plain sight, something like a 2006 D penny that most people overlook. So the question now isn't whether these pennies exist. They do. The question isn't whether they're valuable. They are staggeringly so. The real question is this: are you going to check your coins and seize the opportunity, or let someone else claim the fortune you could have had? Your future wealth could be sitting in your hand tonight, and the only thing standing between you and that life-changing moment is action. You pick up a familiar 2013 Lincoln 1-cent coin. On the surface, nothing seems special. The familiar profile of Lincoln, the familiar inscriptions. Most pennies like this are worth, what? A cent, maybe a few cents for metal value. Nothing to write home about. But what if I told you that this same penny could be hiding a secret so rare, so valuable, that it could fetch up to $922,000 on today's market? Suddenly, that dusty old jar of pennies in your attic or grandma's basement isn't just spare change. It's a golden ticket. Yes, there really are 2013 no-mint mark pennies, but what we're after is an extraordinarily rare error variety. A penny whose imperfections aren't flaws, but features. A coin minted with a mistake so stunning, so freakishly uncommon, that numismatic collectors are literally on the hunt for it like archaeologists discover diamonds. You might laugh and think, 1-cent coin worth almost $1 million? Seriously. But that's exactly the disbelief that keeps most people from looking. And that disbelief could be the difference between grandkids flipping through your coin jar years from now and you cashing in today. Let's dive deeper. What makes an error coin valuable? It's the story behind the error, the history, the rarity, the provenance. Maybe a die was misaligned, maybe a planchet was improperly struck, maybe layering or doubling created an astonishing variety that stands out from millions upon millions of ordinary pennies. Now imagine a 2013 penny, supposedly common, but struck in such a way that it produced a unique error. A coin with such a dramatic anomaly that no other identical example is confirmed. At least, not yet. That makes it a one-of-a-kind gem. And in the world of serious coin collectors, one-of-a-kind equals big money. You see, for serious collectors, the plastic boxes of graded coins that sit in vaults across the country, they're not buying spare change. They're buying history. They're buying scars of minting, evidence of rarity, a tangible piece of American monetary history. They're buying something that can never be reproduced. And that's why a coin like this could command nearly $1 million today. For someone, maybe you, who stumbles onto it first, the reward is not just financial. It's prestige. It's the thrill of unlocking a secret no one else found. It's the story people tell with awe. You sold that penny for how much? But, and here's the kicker, time is of the essence. The moment word leaks that a rare 2013 no-mint mark penny error exists, the floodgates open. More collectors start digging in coin jars. More dealers scour auctions. Demand skyrockets. Prices escalate. Anything resembling that error becomes lightning hot. If you don't act now, you may never get the chance, because someone else will. So here's where you come in. If you have a collection of old pennies, maybe inherited, maybe stashed away, make this moment count. Take a closer look at every 2013 penny you own. Yes, even the worthless ones you shrugged off before, because treasure often hides in plain sight. Think of this as your golden alert, your once-in-a-lifetime shot at turning spare coins into serious wealth. The kind of wealth that changes your lifestyle, gives you financial freedom, lets you dream big, retirement and comfort, that trip you always postponed, generational security for your family. Now, I'm not saying every 2013 penny is your ticket, but if you do find one that matches the rare error type collectors are scrambling for, well, you hold more than just metal. You hold leverage. You hold a story. You hold a potential 6-figure to 7-figure payday. Don't let skepticism or laziness hold you back. Because every day you wait, the market moves. Prices rise. Competition intensifies. You don't want to be the one who looked at a jar of pennies and shrugged. Check your jars. Check your drawers. Be thorough. Be vigilant. And if you find something, anything, that looks off, scratch, doubling, weird marking, don't toss it aside. Investigate. Have it assessed. Because you might just be one inspection away from unlocking your fortune. So here's my challenge to you. Scan your old pennies this week. Yes, this week. Don't wait. Because every moment you hesitate gives someone else a head start. And once the word's out, prices will start climbing fast. Could your old penny jar be your retirement fund? Could it be the seed money for the lifestyle you always dreamed? Only one way to find out. Imagine waking up one morning, reaching into a dusty jar of old coins, and discovering that the tiny brown penny you've ignored for years is now worth more than the house you're living in. It sounds unbelievable, but as you're about to see, one very specific 2014 D. Lincoln penny, minted in the United States only a decade ago, has shocked collectors, auction houses, and the entire rare coin market by hitting a jaw-dropping value of $678,000. Yes, a single cent, now worth nearly $700,000. And if you think that's impossible, stay with me because this story might just change your financial future forever. Now, before we dive in, let me ask you one thing. Have you ever looked at a penny and said to yourself, it's just 1 cent? Well, after today, you may start handling your change like it's made of diamonds. Because hidden inside drawers, shoe boxes, and piggy banks all across America are pennies that most people overlook, while others are quietly cashing in, living a lifestyle most folks only dream about. And you're about to learn exactly why. This brings us into Act 1, the discovery. The journey starts in 2014, when the Denver Mint produced millions of Lincoln pennies, each one made to tight specifications. But among all those ordinary coins, A tiny handful left the mint with a rare and extraordinary error, an error so subtle that nearly everyone missed it. Until collectors started noticing that the coin behaved differently under magnification, almost like it had its own distinct fingerprint. At first, people thought it was just one fluke coin. Then another surfaced. Then another. And suddenly, the numismatic world realized something big was happening. But what was the error? And why did it send this coin's value into the stratosphere? We're getting to that, but not just yet. Because the real turning point came when one of these pennies popped up at a major auction and stunned the market by crossing the six-figure barrier. The room went silent. Collectors leaned forward. Some even laughed in disbelief, because who expects a recent penny to cost more than a luxury car? And then, as bidding escalated, people realized this was no accident. Something rare was unfolding, something powerful, something profitable. And today, that market momentum hasn't slowed down for a second. Welcome to Act 2, the revelation. This is where the mystery unfolds, and where you understand why this coin is in such blazing demand. The 2014 D-penny we're discussing carries a rare mint error that dramatically increases its value. Under magnification, you will notice an atypical structure in the lettering and design details that should not exist on a standard 2014 Denver strike. This anomaly, caused during production, created a 1 in millions rarity, something collectors crave because rarity drives value, and value drives demand. And demand today is higher than ever. People across the US are digging into old coin jars, old bankrolls, inherited collections, and discovering forgotten pennies that turn into life-changing opportunities. Because when a coin is selling for over $600,000, everyone starts paying attention. Yet here's the part that excites collectors the most. This coin is still out there. People are still finding them. And the market is hotter now than at any time in the past decade. The buyer pool is growing. The price trajectory is rising. And if you own one, even if you don't realize it yet, you could be sitting on a financial rocket waiting to launch. But let me interrupt for just a second. If your mind is starting to drift, let me ask you something unusual. When was the last time you checked the lint trap of your dryer for money? Sounds strange, right? But the truth is, rare coins have shown up in stranger places. And with prices like these, it might be worth looking twice. Now, back to our story, because the next part might be the most important. Act 3, the transformation. This is where knowledge turns into action, and action turns into wealth. Collectors, investors, and everyday Americans are now on the hunt for this 2014 D-penny because they understand what's at stake. This isn't just a hobby anymore. This is opportunity. This is leverage. This is a chance to turn something ordinary into something extraordinary. The current estimated market value of the most prized variation is holding strong at around $678,000. And that's today's value. With demand spiking and the availability shrinking, the next auction could push it even higher. But here's the real question. Could you be holding one right now? Could you be living your life with a six-figure asset sitting quietly in a coffee mug on your kitchen counter? This uncertainty, this possibility, is what keeps collectors combing through their jars and rolls with laser-focused intensity. Because someone will find the next one, someone will cash in, and someone will upgrade their lifestyle overnight. Why not you? Before we close, let me leave you with this cliffhanger. The 2014 D-penny is not the only modern coin skyrocketing in value. In fact, there are several others that most people haven't even heard about yet. Coins that can sell for hundreds of thousands of dollars. And in our next video, I'm going to reveal those coins, the exact year and mint marks to look for, and how to know if one of them is hiding in your home right now. So before you go, ask yourself, are you willing to let another collector walk away with a fortune that could have been yours? Or are you ready to step into the world where even a humble penny can transform your life? The screen fades in slowly as a dramatic pulse of music rises, and a warm, compelling voice begins. What if I told you that a single, ordinary-looking penny from 2015, a penny with no mint mark, could be worth more than a luxury home, more than a top-of-the-line sports car, more than many people make in an entire lifetime? A short pause lingers. Yes, I'm talking about a penny approaching a current market value of over $899,000. The darkness shifts into a glowing silhouette of the coin, and the voice continues. Before you shake your head and assume these stories only happen to other people, stay with me. Because today, your entire perspective on the loose change in your drawer is about to be transformed. The rhythm increases as the narrator enters Act 1, the hook of the journey. Somewhere in America, right now, someone might be holding this error coin without even knowing it. Maybe it's tucked in a forgotten jar. Maybe it's slipped into your pocket change. Or maybe it's sitting in a collection you inherited but never examined. A light, humorous moment interrupts the tension. Or maybe it's hiding between your couch cushions next to that missing TV remote we all swear just teleports to another dimension. The humor breaks the intensity just enough before the narrator returns to authority. But jokes aside, this 2015 Nomint Mark Lincoln penny is one of the most impressive error discoveries of our time, and it has skyrocketed in demand among elite collectors ready to pay life-changing amounts of money. The narration deepens into the story behind its mystery. You see, in 2015, the Philadelphia Mint produced millions of pennies. Yet a microscopic, critical anomaly slipped through the cracks. One error, one tiny deviation in the production process. And that single deviation transformed a 1-cent coin into a near-million-dollar treasure. The voice becomes slightly suspenseful. Imagine that a factory designed to eliminate errors produces the very mistake that could make someone wealthy. It sounds like a Hollywood script, doesn't it? The transition into Act 2, the emotional core, begins with rising tension. But here's where things become even more fascinating. This rare 2015 Nomint Mark penny isn't just valuable. It has become a symbol of opportunity, a reminder that wealth sometimes hides in the simplest places. And for people like you, people who understand the value of legacy, history, and the freedom that comes with financial empowerment, this coin represents possibility. The narrator lowers the tone, inspiring reflection, because too many collectors today underestimate the power of what they already own. They think valuable coins are ancient relics or century-old rarities. But in reality, modern coins with extraordinary errors are climbing aggressively in the market, breaking records, and redefining what serious collectors are paying. There's a sudden shift, a pattern interrupt. Now let me ask you something. Have you checked your penny jar lately? No? Well, you might want to after this video. I promise it's more exciting than checking your email. Unless you enjoy spam from companies you don't remember signing up for. The humor resets attention before diving into more value. Collectors are competing fiercely for coins like this. Auctions are heating up. Private sales are becoming more bold. And elite buyers, people who value not just wealth but the pride of owning something truly rare, are aggressively pushing prices higher. The narrator now builds anticipation with a subtle cliffhanger. And here's the twist most people don't know. The true value of this coin isn't even capped yet. Analysts believe that as more collectors chase high-end modern errors, the price may soar even further. So if you're watching this thinking, could I really have a coin worth nearly $900,000? The answer is simple. You won't know until you look. Act 3 arrives, the climb toward revelation and resolution, followed by the final big emotional punch. Now, let's talk about why this coin is dominating modern coin collecting circles. First, the rarity. Only a microscopic number of these 2015 Nomint Mark error pennies have been authenticated. Second, the condition and grading potential. A pristine example can send the value into the stratosphere. And third, demand, real, powerful demand. Collectors are hungry for modern rarities. They're seeking the next big story, the next headline maker, the next opportunity that blends history with wealth. The tone becomes inspiring. And you, yes you, could be holding exactly that. The music builds as the narrator delivers another suspense-laden moment. Because here's the secret that separates wealthy collectors from everyone else. They don't wait. They act. They search. They verify. They capitalize while others hesitate. The voice shifts into a firm, empowering tone. If you want to live a wealthy lifestyle, if you want to turn old coins into real financial opportunity, you must examine what you have. You must pay attention. And you must understand that the smallest treasure can hold the greatest value. The script crescendos toward its emotional finale. So imagine this. You're holding a simple penny, something most people ignore, something most people toss aside without a thought. And suddenly you realize it's worth nearly $900,000. What does that moment feel like? Relief? Excitement? Freedom? The spark of a new future. The narrator lets the thought breathe. That feeling is not reserved for someone else. It could be yours. A final cliffhanger lands softly but powerfully. Because the next rare coin discovery isn't in a museum. It isn't locked away in a vault. It's out there, in the world, maybe even in your home. The voice grows confident, and the only question left is, will you be the one who finds it? The music fades, the penny glows on screen, and the narrator concludes with unmistakable authority and inspiration. Start searching, start believing, and start unlocking the wealth that's been hiding in plain sight. Your future is worth more than 1 cent. Imagine this: you're going about your day, paying for a coffee, handing over a penny without a second thought. Later that night, you scroll through the news and see that a man just sold a 2016 no-mint mark penny, one that looked exactly like the one you casually gave away, for over $750,000. The first emotion that hits you is disbelief. The second is fear. Fear that you've already touched a fortune and let it slip through your fingers. Don't worry. You're not alone. Millions of Americans have old pennies stored away, unaware that some of them are now considered ultra-rare assets in a rapidly booming market. The truth is, we are living in a historic moment where rare U.S. coins, especially pennies, are being sought after at record-breaking prices. Collectors, investors, wealthy buyers, and auction houses are all hunting for the next big find, and the 2016 no-mint mark Lincoln penny has become one of the most talked-about treasures in the numismatic world. But what exactly happened in 2016 that created such an extraordinary coin? And why is one version of it selling for the price of a luxury home? Before we answer that, we need to unravel a strange little mystery in America's minting system. Most people believe that if a penny has no mint mark, it must have come from Philadelphia. And usually that's true. But the 2016 penny carries a secret that experts didn't fully understand until error coins started appearing in private collections. These weren't ordinary pennies. These were anomalies, striking mistakes that never should have left the mint. Some of these 2016 pennies were struck using error planchets, some had off-center strikes, some had double die formations, and others showed mismatched die states, all hidden beneath a smooth face where the mint mark was supposed to be. Only a tiny handful escaped the mint unnoticed. And when collectors uncovered these rare defects, something happened that no one expected. Their value exploded, and then kept climbing. You can almost hear the auction rooms gasping as the price tags rose higher and higher. What started as a curiosity turned into a phenomenon. Before experts could even fully categorize every error type, one pristine example hit the market and sold for a breathtaking $782,000, a number that instantly grabbed national attention. Suddenly, everyone wanted to know, do I have one? Could my penny be worth life-changing money? And here's where things get exciting for you. Because unlike other rare coins that require decades of aging, the 2016 no-mint mark penny is young, meaning there are still uncirculated examples hiding in circulation, in old boxes, in change jars, and in personal collections that have never been checked properly. You might be holding a small metal lottery ticket without even realizing it. But wait, before you start digging through your drawers, there's one detail you need to understand. A detail that separates a $782,000 treasure from an ordinary 1-cent piece. And this detail is so important that most sellers miss it entirely, costing them fortunes. Every rare coin has a story, but this penny's story is different because you could be the next chapter. The difference between a penny that sells $4,200 and one that sells for nearly $1 million comes down to recognizing the error, identifying the markers, and understanding the explosive demand that's driving collectors to pay unbelievable prices. Collectors today aren't just buying coins. They're building legacy assets. They're securing tangible, recession-proof wealth. They're investing in history while others let opportunities pass. And right now, the 2016 no-mint mark error penny is one of the hottest commodities in that world. So ask yourself, what would it feel like to discover one? To hold a $782,000 treasure between your fingertips? to sell it and transform your lifestyle overnight. Pay off debt, upgrade your home, secure your future, or simply live the wealthy, stress-free life you deserve? Because the people who made millions from rare coins were once just like you, ordinary individuals who decided to look closer, to check their change, to learn the signs, and to seize the moment. Now here's the twist, the part you've been waiting for. There are still more 2016 no-mint mark error pennies out there. Experts agree that only a fraction of them have been found. Every day, more are surfacing. Every day, people like you discover one and move from curiosity to shock, from shock to excitement, and from excitement to a life they once only dreamed about. And here's the ultimate cliffhanger. The next person to find one could be watching this video right now. Before you leave, remember this: opportunity doesn't knock twice. Rare coins like this spike in value quickly, and those who act early benefit the most. Check your coins. Learn what to look for. Study the details. And when you find that hidden treasure, be ready to claim what's rightfully yours. Your wealth may already be in your hands. You just haven't looked closely enough yet. Imagine waking up one morning, reaching into an old jar of coins, and discovering that a single penny, yes, the copper-colored coin most people overlook, could be worth $932,000. Not a rare gold coin, not an ancient artifact, but a 2017 Lincoln 1-cent coin with a small P mint mark. Now here's the twist. Most Americans have touched this coin, spent this coin, and ignored this coin. But a select few, they noticed something different. They spotted the error, and their lives changed forever. Today, I'm going to reveal exactly why this 2017 P mint mark penny has become one of the most aggressively hunted modern coins in the United States. And more importantly, why collectors are paying life-changing amounts for it right now. If you own old coins, if you've inherited them, or if you're just hoping one penny could rewrite your financial story, you're in exactly the right place. And yes, this video might make you check every coin in your home tonight. Before we go any further, let's begin with Act 1.in 2017. The US Mint did something unusual. For the first time in history, they placed the P mint mark on a circulating Lincoln penny to honor their employees. No one expected anything special. After all, billions of pennies roll off the mint every year. But collectors noticed quickly that something wasn't normal. A small number of these coins had striking errors, die cracks, off-center strikes, unusual surface anomalies, and the kind of rare imperfections that turn everyday change into once-in-a-generation treasures. While most people were tossing these pennies into vending machines, the few who paid attention were discovering coins worth more than luxury cars. Here's where our story gets interesting. One verified specimen with a dramatic obverse die error recently hit the market with an estimated price tag of $932,000. And no, it's not a myth, not a rumor, not a story someone's uncle told at a barbecue. This is the real current market valuation. A modern penny commanding a six-figure price and still rising. Now you might be thinking, but how could something printed in 2017 already be worth this much? And that's where our cliffhanger begins, because the answer is tied to a perfect storm in the collector market. A storm still building. Collectors aren't just buying coins. They're buying history, mystery, rarity, and the thrill of owning something nobody else has. And error coins? They're the crown jewel of modern collecting because you can't manufacture them. They can't be faked easily. They are born from chance, from imperfect machinery, from a once-in-a-millennia slip in the minting process. And the 2017 P penny produced some of the most intriguing modern errors in circulation today. But here's the part that should send a chill of excitement down your spine. Many collectors believe that the most dramatic errors from this year have not even surfaced yet. That means the highest value coins may still be sitting in someone's piggy bank, a gas station cash drawer, or your own pocket. And let's be honest. When was the last time you looked closely at a penny? Most people don't, which means opportunity is everywhere. And opportunity that everyone else ignores, that's the kind that creates wealth. Now here's a quick pattern interrupt. Have you ever stared at a penny long enough to feel like Lincoln is judging you for not checking your pocket change more often? Don't worry. After this video, you'll never look at him the same again. Back to the point. As wealthy collectors compete, bidding wars have erupted across online auctions, private showings, and dealer networks. Prices are climbing faster than anyone predicted. Some experts believe the 2017 P-era penny could soon cross the $1 million mark. Yes, $1 million penny. It sounds like a joke, but it's becoming a financial reality. And here's where Act 3 takes us deeper, because if you own older pennies or inherited jars of coins, you may be sitting on something even more valuable. Right now, across the US, people are turning forgotten coins into wealth. Ordinary Americans, teachers, truck drivers, retirees, single parents, are discovering pennies worth 5 figures, even 6 figures. And the reason? The collector market is on fire. Demand is climbing. Wealthy buyers are expanding their collections. And modern penny errors like the 2017 P are pushing the entire market upward. This is the moment when the people who take action win. The people who wait miss out. If a modern penny can be worth $932,000, imagine the potential locked inside older wheat cents, early Lincoln cents, double dies, off-center strikes, and mint-state rarities. Many of you watching right now already have coins sitting in boxes, drawers, and containers waiting to be discovered. And now for one more cliffhanger. Did you know that some coins people thought were worthless in the 1990s are now selling for tens of thousands? That means coins that seem common today could explode in value tomorrow. The 2017 P penny is the proof that yes, this isn't just about coins. It's about financial opportunity. It's about taking something small and turning it into something life-changing. It's about stepping into the world of collectors where knowledge becomes power, and a simple penny can become a passport to a wealthier lifestyle. Before we wrap, let me ask you one final attention-resetting question. When you go to sleep tonight, will you wonder whether the coin that could change your life is already in your home? If you want to live differently, think differently, and take control of your financial future, begin with the simplest step. Check your coins. Learn the signs. Look for the mint marks. Examine the dates. Because pennies like the 2017 P-era coin are not just valuable. They're reminders that wealth can come from the most unexpected places. This is your moment. Don't wait. You never know which coin might be worth $932,000 or more. If you want more guidance on identifying rare pennies and maximizing your coin's value, stay tuned, subscribe, and join the growing community of collectors transforming pocket change into powerful wealth. Imagine reaching into your pocket, pulling out a single penny, and realizing you're holding a small piece of copper worth more than most luxury homes. Sounds impossible, doesn't it? And yet, in 2019, a seemingly ordinary no-mint mark Lincoln penny shocked the coin-collecting world when it surfaced with a rare and powerful error. An error so valuable that its current market worth is estimated around an extraordinary $679,000. Yes, a penny worth $679,000. If that doesn't make you want to dump every jar of coins you have onto the table right now, nothing will. Before we dive deeper, let me ask you a quick question. When was the last time you actually looked at a penny? No, seriously, looked at it. Inspecting its edges, its shine, its tiny imperfections? Don't worry, most people don't. In fact, people treat pennies like clutter until one changes someone's life forever. And that's exactly why you're here. Because you might be one of the few people walking around with a rare fortune disguised as pocket change. But what exactly makes this 2019 no-mint mark Lincoln penny so special? And more importantly, how can you tell if your penny might be the next one collectors are fighting over? Stay with me, because the story behind this coin is not just fascinating. It's a path toward opportunity, wealth, and potentially life-changing profits. The truth is, most modern pennies never become valuable. They come and go, unnoticed, unappreciated, forgotten. But every so often, a rare minting error slips through the cracks unnoticed, until a collector with a sharp eye and a bit of luck discovers something extraordinary. That was the case with the now legendary 2019 no-mint mark error penny. This unique penny isn't just special. It carries a striking, unmistakable mint error that pushed its desirability into the stratosphere. And collectors with deep pockets didn't just want it. They competed for it. The demand was fierce. The bidding was intense. And the final estimated value? A staggering $679,000. Just imagine the excitement of realizing your penny, yes, your small copper coin, could be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. That's enough to pay off debts, buy a home, travel the world, or finally claim the wealthy lifestyle you've always envisioned. And the best part, these rare coins aren't locked away in secret vaults or held only by elite collectors. Many of them are still out there, in pockets, in drawers, in old coffee cans, in the forgotten corners of American households, maybe even in your hands. You might be thinking, but how do I know if I have one of these rare error pennies? That's a powerful question, and the next few minutes might be the most important you'll spend all week. Because identifying valuable errors isn't as intimidating as it seems. It's precise but not complicated. And once you know what to look for, you'll never see your change the same way again. Before we get into the key details, let me hit you with a quick pattern interrupt. Why do we treat pennies like trash, but treat cryptocurrency like treasure? At least pennies are real. But I digress. Now let's lean into the real opportunity. The 2019 error penny's astronomical value didn't happen by accident. It happened because collectors recognized the rarity and the increasing demand for modern coin errors. These coins are becoming hot items, highly sought after, aggressively purchased, and quickly climbing in value. And with more people searching, the window to find one before the market tightens is shrinking fast. But here's the cliffhanger. What if the truly rare pennies from 2019 haven't all been discovered yet? What if the next $679,000 coin is sitting quietly in someone's glove compartment, or in a jar above a refrigerator, or maybe even in your kitchen drawer right now? This isn't wishful thinking, this is the reality of the coin market. Every major coin discovery starts with someone who least expected it. Someone who thought, it's just a penny. Someone who almost spent it without a second thought. Someone exactly like you. So let this moment remind you that opportunity doesn't always look shiny. Sometimes, it looks like a dull copper coin with a worn face and no mint mark. But in the right condition, with the right error, its value becomes nothing short of transformational. As you prepare to search through your collection, or maybe your old jars of pennies, you're not just hunting for coins. You're hunting for possibilities, for wealth, for the chance to turn a forgotten penny into a powerful asset. And if you're ready to explore, evaluate, and potentially sell your rare coins, now is the perfect time. Demand is soaring, collectors are competing, and the market is hungry for the next big discovery. So keep watching, keep learning, and keep your eyes sharp. Because that life-changing penny, it might be closer than you think. Imagine waking up tomorrow morning, opening your coin jar, and discovering that one tiny copper-colored penny, something you've walked past 1,000 times, could be worth more than a luxury home, more than most people's retirement savings, more than what many earn in decades. Today, we're diving into the unbelievable story of the 2021 D. Lincoln penny error coin, a piece that has recently shocked collectors by reaching a staggering $873,000 in the current market. Yes, $873,000 for a penny. So before you even think about leaving those coins lying around in your kitchen drawer, stay locked in, because what I'm about to tell you may change the value of every penny you've ever touched. Welcome to today's journey, where something as small as a cent could elevate your life, change your finances forever, and turn your dusty jar of spare change into an opportunity worth more than gold. Now, let's rewind. Picture this: a regular coin collector in the Midwest doing what he does every evening, carefully sorting through his pocket change. Nothing glamorous, nothing dramatic, until suddenly he paused. Something was off. A 2021 D penny looked strange, almost like it had been struck twice, misaligned, warped with a mysterious shine that didn't match the rest of the pile. He didn't know it yet, but he was holding a rarity that would soon climb to nearly $873,000 at auction. This is where things get exciting, because that collector could be you. That penny could be in your drawer, and the opportunity is still alive. But before we dive into what exactly makes this tiny coin so valuable, let me interrupt your thoughts with a quick question. When was the last time you even looked closely at a penny? I mean, really looked? If you're like most people, probably never. After all, a penny is the coin we step over in a parking lot and pretend we didn't see. Heck, some people won't even bend down to pick one up. But after watching this video, trust me, you'll be checking every coin in sight, even the ones stuck under your sofa cushions. Now back to our story. That tiny detail the collector noticed, the flaw, would ignite a thrilling chase within the coin world. Because the 2021 D. Lincoln penny has one of the most extraordinary, elusive mint errors in recent history, an error so rare that finding just one can change your entire lifestyle. You might be wondering, what makes this penny worth nearly $1 million? Here's where things get intense. The 2021 D penny has been found with a dramatic error, an off-center strike combined with a die clash anomaly that altered Lincoln's profile and left marks across sections of the coin that should never have been there. These aren't your typical factory mistakes. These are rarities that happen for a split second in the Denver Mint's high-speed production line, and then never repeat. Collectors call it the lightning strike. The error appears once, then disappears forever. The reason the value skyrockets? Demand, desire, competition, and above all, scarcity. When an error this dramatic appears on a modern penny, the world wakes up fast. It doesn't matter if the coin was made only a few years ago. Rarity overrides age in the collector market every single time. Now here comes a moment that might surprise you. The current highest sale reached $873,000, and experts believe this number could go even higher as wealthy collectors fight over the chance to own one of the rarest pennies of the decade. And yes, demand is still rising. Every month, more people are realizing that everyday change could hold treasures worth as much as high-end real estate. But here's the twist. Not all 2021 D pennies with errors look the same. Some have subtle doubling. Some have extreme die cracks. Some look like they've been accidentally pulled into the wrong press entirely. And this is where your opportunity comes in. Before I reveal how to identify the version worth nearly $873K, let me drop a quick pattern interrupt. If you're sitting there thinking, I probably don't have anything that valuable, remember, neither did the guy who found this history-making penny. He almost tossed it into a Coinstar machine. Imagine throwing away a house because you didn't bother to look at it closely. Makes you want to grab your coin jar right now, doesn't it? Now we enter the turning point, the moment where this video shifts from fascinating story to personal opportunity. Because if you have a 2021 D penny or any Lincoln penny with unusual features, the next few moments could be the most valuable information you hear today. Look for deformation around the rim. Look for doubled images, especially on the date. Look for unusual lines near Lincoln's profile or strange shadows near the word liberty. Big or small errors matter. The more dramatic, the higher the value. And if you find one with the same type of off-center strike or die clash seen in the six-figure examples, you're holding a modern miracle in your hand. But here's the cliffhanger. The market is heating up faster than ever. Every week that passes, collectors grow more aggressive. Prices are climbing. More pennies are being discovered, graded, locked away into private vaults. And when that happens, the number available to sell shrinks. When rarity meets demand, values explode. Which brings us to your moment. This is your invitation to take action now. Because if you've been dreaming of living a wealthy, comfortable lifestyle, one where opportunity finds you instead of the other way around, then your coin collection might be the doorway. A single penny could shift your financial future. It has already done that for others. And before we wrap up, let me ask you something that might stay with you long after this video ends. How many life-changing opportunities have you already walked past? Simply because they look too small to matter? Opportunities rarely shout, they whisper. And right now, that whisper sounds like a tiny copper coin waiting to be rediscovered, so check your coins. Examine your 2021 D pennies. Look for the rare error. Because the next person to uncover one worth nearly $1 million could very well be you.